So the question is, we want to graph y equals x plus 2 squared plus 1. And to just refresh your memory on this, to graph something, what we do is we find the vertex. This is from 5.1. Find the vertex, and then we do the 1, 3, 5, 7. The vertex, when it's in vertex form, is HK. So that's going to be the opposite of what you see in the parentheses, comma, what you see after the parentheses. Because if you look on the board, or on the wall, it's x minus h. And x plus 2 is x minus negative 2. So it's the opposite of what you see in the parentheses, and then exactly what you see outside the parentheses. That's going to be your vertex in vertex form. So we plot our vertex at negative 2, 1. Everybody should be able to plot a point. From there, we're going to take our 1, 3, 5, 7 times A. A is 1, so it's going to stay 1, 3, 5, 7. So from our vertex, we're going to go up 1, up 3, up 5, up 7, and we connect those dots. And there's your parabola. I guess the key thing in here that students are going to screw up is they're going to forget that opposite when they do the vertex in vertex form. When it's in standard form, like the ones in 5.1, we do opposite of b over 2a comma plug and chug. When it's in vertex form, like this right here, you can just look at it and tell what the vertex is. And then take your 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay? Let's try again. Actually, you try this one. I want you to graph that parabola in vertex form. Vertex should be 3, negative 2. The opposite of what you see in the parentheses, x minus 3, so it should be positive 3, and then exactly what you see outside the parentheses, 3, negative 2, and then 1, 3, 5, 7 times A. A is 1, so it's just going to be 1, 3, 5, 7 from the point 3, negative 2. Connect the dots. There's your parabola. Okay? Questions? Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go back to 5.5 a little bit, but we're not going to solve. We're going to write these equations in vertex form. And what that's going to involve is finding the vertex and then writing it in the form. We did this in 5.5 as a way to solve. So I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I'll let you try the second one. So in the first one, what we're going to do is find the vertex, which is opposite of b over 2a, comma plug and chug. The opposite of b over 2a in the first one is the opposite of 8 over 2, which is negative 4. Opposite of b over 2a. And now when you plug in negative 4, negative 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 32 is negative 16 minus 5. I get negative 21 for my plug and chug. So you find the vertex, opposite of b over 2a, comma plug and chug. Then you take your a from the problem, and you write vertex form using the A and the vertex. So we have A is 1, which you really don't need to write. There's a understood 1 outside that we don't write. Ghost 1. X minus negative 4. Okay, so really it's X minus negative 4, which turns into X plus 4 because it's X minus H. And then plus negative 21, which is minus 21. We write plus K plus negative 21, which is minus 21. Okay, so the solid red you see is the answer. The ghostly dotted is what you write originally. So there's a 1 here that we don't write. X minus negative 4 changes to X plus 4, plus negative 21 becomes minus 21. Okay, you do the second one. The vertex is, I get negative 1, 3. Opposite of b over 2a is negative 1. Plug in the negative 1, you get 3. So when you write that in vertex form, you get x plus 1 squared plus 3. Because it's x minus negative 1 plus 3. Find the vertex, put it into vertex form. Make sure you know how to handle your x minus negatives and your plus negatives. We're only going to do the top part of this problem. We're not going to do the bottom part. Write the equation of a parabola with a vertex 1, 2 that goes through 3, 4. This is really the first new thing we're doing today. Everything we've done so far today is really review. Write an equation of a parabola with a vertex of 1, 2 that goes through 3, 4. Step 1 in a problem like this is you write the vertex form that you see on the wall. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k, the whole thing. And now we're going to fill in all 4 numbers from the problem somewhere in that equation. 1, 2 for the vertex, and 3, 4 for a point. The vertex is h and k. Okay, so for the vertex, whoops, let me get my back to regular here. The vertex we're going to treat as h and k. And the point, just like we did when we were doing the linear chapter, we're going to treat the point as x and y. So in the equation, we're going to replace h with 1, k with 2, x with 3, and y with 4. The vertex becomes hk. In the equation, the point 3, 4, I replace the 3, 4 in for the x and the y, leaving me with only one variable. So y becomes 4. A, I do not have a value for. X is 3 minus h, which is 1, squared, plus k, which is 2. So I take the equation off the wall. You don't have to memorize it. I put in values for everything except a. HK vertex, XY point, and now my job is to get the A by itself. Solve for A. So I need to do a little arithmetic. The parentheses I can do, 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so 3 minus 1 is 2. And 2 squared is 4. I did a little math there. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So that first term becomes 4a. And now, that's like a 7th grade question. 4a plus 2 equals 4. Solving that is a 7th grade question, which you can all do. I'm going to subtract the 2 to the other side. And then I'm going to divide by 4. And I get a value of a equaling 1/2. So the first part of the problem, I'm trying to find a. Now that I have a, I'm going to take my a and my vertex, and I'm going to write an equation where x and y are variables, but a, h, and k are numbers. So y equals 1/2 x minus 1 squared plus 2. Okay? The a comes from here, and the h and the k come from here. That's the answer for our purposes in here. We're not going to do the bottom stuff. We'll let Trig do that. Although you know what the vertex is, and you know that it opens up, we've just never talked about the axis of symmetry. So we'll let them deal with those pieces. But you guys can come up with the equation. Placing the values in for the vertex and the point, solving for a, and then writing the equation. All right. Let's try another one. See how far you can get on your own. Okay, so I'm going to put in 1 for y, 2 for x. When I put in -1 for h, it becomes 2 minus -1. So in your parentheses, you should have 2 plus 1. All right, if you have 2 minus 1, that's a very common mistake. But you should have 2 minus -1, which is chop chop, 2 plus 1, and then plus 4. So that 2 plus 1 becomes 3. And that 3 squared becomes 9. So you should have 9a. You just have to take your time and remember it's x minus h. 2 minus -1. So that's 3, and then you square it to get the 9. Subtract the 4 to the other side, get -3. And what a lot of kids will do wrong here is they'll take 9 divided by -3. Just like on the last one, kids will take 4 divided by 2 and get 2. But what we're doing is we're dividing by 9. And that is a mistake that kids make a lot. So we're dividing by 9, and so we get that a is -1/3 in this case. So we're going to use that -1/3 to write our equation. Y equals -1/3 x plus 1 squared plus 4. And one thing that you can check when you're doing this is that this and this should line up with this and this when you did your work over on the left, because the vertex is going to be the same all throughout the problem. Okay?